Hi everybody, it's me and I'm here to show you some of the ways that I prepare for headstand. Now headstand can be scary and there are lots of things that you can do that can help you be a little bit more efficient in practicing it. And as much as you need strength in these postures, it is so important that we find a good amount of flexibility around the shoulder, the lats, the hips, and the hamstrings as well. So these are some of the ways that I prepare for headstand. And I'm going to show you a little tutorial of how to get into headstand or Sirshasana. Often in headstand practice, we find that some people rest the hairline or rest somewhere too close to the forehead on the floor when they come up. Here's a little trick that you can try to figure out where on your head you should be in a headstand practice. You take the base of the wrist in between the third eye, extend the palm, and wherever the middle finger touches, that should generally be right at the crown of the head. So when you lay the top of your head down, that's where it should be. You can choose to open the palms where the back of the head is against the palms, or back of the wrist with the palm shut. So up to you. You choose the distance. Elbows or shoulder width apart. But if they end up opening a little wider, please feel free to take the elbows narrower than usual.
Placing your elbows on blocks, you're going to drop the head down through the arms, squeeze the elbows in towards the midline, stretch it out, keep the rib cage in and the armpits hollow, and breathe here. Similar to downward facing dog, dolphin is the same with the elbows on the floor. So keep the rib cage in, and if you need a small bend in the knees to accommodate the hips, take that option or take downward facing dog. From dolphin, you're going to take a few steps back. Press the forearms, elbows, hands into the floor and begin to shift forward and back. Keep the shoulders away from the ears and stable, squeezing forearms in towards each other. And think about reaching the chin past the knuckles here. Keep the core tight, and this is going to teach you how to keep pressing the ground away, using all these same muscles that you need to sustain your headstand practice. From tabletop position, extend one leg back and draw the knee into the chest. Contracting the front belly as the knee comes in, and if you want some more, extend the opposite arm. And this is going to create strength in the lower back and in the front of the core, and as well as the legs and the hip creases. They're going to make them warm enough for you to take the legs up and extend them. So keep the navel pulling in. This is going to teach you to keep your back as neutral as possible. A second core exercise that you can come into is your Navasana. Drawing back and forth as you extend and contract. And this is going to keep the front of the body used to not arching. So as much as you can, keep the spine straight, the chest lifted, and the back broad. Forward bends are a great way to create space in your hips, hamstrings, and your lower back. You could also do this standing. Remember to create length in the spine. Pull the navel in to keep the core contracted. Engage the front of the thighs and flex your feet. If you're working on coming up, practice stacking the hips above the shoulders here. So as I pull my heels to my butt one at a time, I keep my rib cage firmed in, and I think about lifting my hips as I go along. push the floor away constantly and keep your shoulders engaged. Shoulder blades draw down the spine. If you have a hard time walking in with the feet together, separate them. Bend the knees as you walk in, and as you pull one heel to the butt, take one hip over the shoulder, push down into the ground, and take the other one in. Maybe draw the knees in. You could stay here or take it all the way up. Keep practicing lifting the pelvis over the shoulders, even if you have to bend your knees. So if you have a hard time stacking the hips over the shoulders, prop your feet up on a block. Maybe take one leg up, keep reaching to the ceiling. Allow it to help you tilt the hips, neutralize the spine, and maybe float the other leg up with you. Remember that the key here is to keep pushing the ground away. Breathe deeply. If you're a bendy girl like me and your back begins to arch in your headstand, try this out. As you come into a tuck, keep the heels pulling into the butt. Slowly work on pointing the knees up towards the ceiling. This gives you the time to remove the arch in your back, draw the tailbone to the heels. The secret to a press is walking in so much that the hips are already stacked. Using the strength of the core in the lower back and the hip creases, slowly take the body up, the legs up, pushing the ground away really hard and drawing the navel into the spine. Take your time, as this takes a lot of strength and flexibility.
Alright, so that's it for my headstand tutorial, you guys. I really hope you enjoyed and you learned. So naturally, this is best after a full practice. So feel free to do some of these drills, these exercises after you've taken a class. I didn't include any entries that included a wall just because I feel it became a crutch for me when I was learning it. Try not to get frustrated if you don't get it today or tomorrow, because hey, this is a practice that you got for the rest of your life, so you've got nothing to worry about. Take the time to practice, be smart about your movements, allow your skill to grow incrementally so that it is sustainable. We don't want any flukes here. No crazy kicks with legs flailing and everything, and if all else fails, please ask help from a teacher. And what it really is about is being able to be patient enough and honest enough with yourself so that you can meet yourself at where you are. So that's one of the things that I think is so important about the practice. You have to be honest about where you are and work from there, because progress is easier when we're aware of exactly where it is we are. Keep with your practice, you guys, and until the next video, I'll see you guys soon.